And Uma, I'm gonna mention cloud a bunch, so just pretend I'm saying something else. Okay. So hi guys, judges, guests, thanks for having me. My name is Will Schulman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MongoLab. We are a database as a service provider for MongoDB. And really, we started this business to help our fellow developers. If you're anything like this dude here, you like building things. He's all proud of this new iPhone app he's made, and you like coding, you like data, but really, a lot of developers, and I've been one of them in the past, really hate databases, and they hate databases for two reasons. One, relational databases are really a pain to code against, especially if you use object-oriented programming languages like almost everyone does these days. Number two, database ops are really something to be left desired. It's the hardest thing to operationalize in the entire stack, and most developers just do not want to deal with it. In terms of coding against relational databases, the famous object relational impedance mismatch, right? You spend enormous amounts of your time converting between the object shape of your data, which is in your code, and the relational shape of your data in the database, which usually involves multiple tables. And you spend all this time mapping back and forth, changing the shape of your data over and over again. You're either doing this manually or more modernly, or using some sort of object relational mapping system. But really, those are difficult to deal with as well. The second problem, ops, right? So if you're running a serious production database, you got to do all of this. You've got to make sure that you're thinking about uptime. You've got to make sure that if one of the database nodes goes down, that doesn't bring your whole app down. You've got to think about backups, and not just taking them, but making sure they actually restore if you need them. Monitoring, alerting, right? Not just that the database is up, but that it's healthy, that the queries are going fast, and things like, am I running out of disk space, right? You need to know these things ahead of time. You need to be alerting people to deal with these things. Scaling, if you're a developer, you want things to scale, but you don't want to have to change your code to scale. You don't want to think about that. You want the database to accept more data, and you want it to grow. And you just basically don't want to be a DBA. You want to be a developer. So our team set out to solve these problems. The three guys on our founding team, we are not triplets, but we sometimes look alike. So basically, what do we do about the first problem? So if SQL and relational databases are difficult to code against from a logical and operational standpoint, let's get rid of that. And we focused on MongoDB, and I'll tell you why in a second. First of all, MongoDB works much better with object-oriented programming languages than other databases. In MongoDB, you are storing your data in an object form that is almost exactly the same in your programming language. So you're not doing mappings anymore. You're not spending that time as a programmer. Your infrastructure is not spending that time actually doing the transformations. MongoDB scales better than most relational databases. From the get-go, MongoDB was built to be a distributed database. It was built to handle replication and, the magic word, sharding. And so, from a scalability standpoint, it was built from the get-go. And for these two reasons, we really believe that's why MongoDB, as everyone really knows, is just taking off. It's really pulling away from the pack as the most commonly used NoSQL database out there. And it's really becoming the general purpose database that backs most applications. Unlike some of the other NoSQL solutions, which are really specialized tool, MongoDB is becoming the operational data store for your application. And this is the new campus that's going to be built in Redwood Shores. So one down. So now let's talk about database ops. Really, the theme of this whole thing is commoditization of IT. Right? We believe that if you're a developer, you shouldn't be wasting time doing operations. You want to focus on your core business. You want to focus on the application you're building. If you're in a big enterprise organization, you don't want to have to ask the IT department to make you a new database and wait 2 weeks for that, right? You want to be able to do everything in a way that's automated, and you want to just get back to writing code. So really, cloud services right today are what's making this no-ops a reality, right? You've got your infrastructure as a service providers, you've got your PaaS providers, and what we've done is we've taken the idea of cloud infrastructure, combined it with MongoDB, and made a cloud database service. And so let me show you a little bit about what it looks like. So it is ridiculously easy to come and create a database with MongoLab. You come online, you select your cloud provider, so we run on all the major cloud providers. You select a plan type, and within seconds, you have a database and you're ready to code against it. Folks love our web-based admin tools. Makes MongoDB really easy and fun to use. And like I said before, you save your worries for your core business. So we handle all the multi-zone replication and auto failover. We handle all the backups, keeping disks growing, 24/7 support, scalability, all that stuff. You don't worry about it. We're the ones who have the pagers. We're the ones that have no life. And then our business model is subscription-based. So monthly fee, we have all sorts of great plans. We have shared plans that are really good for development, low-grade production, all the way up to our, when you start out free, all the way up to our multi-server dedicated cluster plans. We're here to get you in the door, and then we'll scale with you as you grow. Just a little bit more about us. We are second-time entrepreneurs. A lot of the engineering team that built Merced Systems, an enterprise analytics, data analytics company. We've all worked together before. We've got great investors, Founder Group Baseline, and some really good other folks in there. Partnered with all of the key players in the space, tens of thousands of databases managed worldwide. And we're here to ask you to try us out. We're looking for customers and partners because we want you to build more. Thanks.
Great.